Hi there, my name is Jorge Ramon and I run the MiamiCoder.com website where I teach developers how to create enterprise level mobile applications. In this video I want to show you how to wireframe a very simple sign-up user interface for a mobile app. I will divide the process in two steps. First, I will create a flowchart depicting the elements involved in the sign-up sequence. Those elements are going to be mainly screens. Then I will go ahead and create the wireframes for those screens. So let's get started. I want to start by dropping a callout on my design surface here that will symbolize the launch of the application. Following that, I'll add an arrow that will point to the first screen that we want to show users when they run the app. Now think about it. What do you want to show users when they run the app for the first time? Well, I'm going to call it the welcome screen. What essentially needs to happen there is, I didn't mean to type welcome there. What I want to do is drop a label, and that's where I will type welcome. So the welcome screen is basically an area where you will prompt users, okay, welcome, what do you want to do? Do you want to sign up or do you want to sign in? Sign in applies to those users who already have an account with the app. We're not going to touch on the sign in sequence in this video. We're only concerned with the sign up sequence, but it's important that you have pointers to those two paths in the app inside this welcome screen. Let's drop a block of text here where we will add a description of what will happen in this step. Or sign in. So you've instructed users, if you want to sign in, go this way. If you want to sign up, go this way. What comes next? Well, next is the screen where you want to capture the user, what will become the user credentials. So I will call this the sign up screen. And essentially what you need to do here is at a minimum capture the username. Usually that will be their email address and their password. So that's what I will use as a description for this screen. Remember, you might need to also capture other profile data for the user here. Why? Well, if you need it later on to personalize the features of the app, well, you can decide to capture. You might decide to capture it here. But at a minimum, you want to go ahead and at least have their username and their password so they can access the app going forward. Next, you want to confirm their email address. So that is not a screen in the app, but that's a process that needs to happen because you want to make sure that the email address is first valid and second it belongs to them. So how do you do it? Well, you might decide to send them an email to the email address that they provided. And that's your typical email step that you see when you create, you sign up for online access to your bank accounts, for example, or any of the online services that you use, where they send you an email with a special link that you have to click in order to validate your email address. So that's what you want to do here too. There's an exception to this step, and that's when you can leverage the facilities that you have in the enterprise. For example, if you're using Active Directory for user authentication and authorization, you don't have to go through this email validation step. But I wanted to have it in this wireframe design session, just so you know that it exists and that it's an important step. All right, what happens next? Well, next you want to immediately follow the sign up screen with a confirm your email screen. That's what I will reflect here. Let's put a description, and this is where a user enters the code that you sent them. And this will confirm that the email address that they enter is in effect theirs. I will just call this step enter code. Next, next is just the sign-in screen. At this point, you've confirmed that their credentials are valid, and all you need to do is present them with a screen where they can enter those credentials so they can access the app. So user enters credentials they created. And finally, what you want to do is show them, let's call it the home or the main menu screen of the app. And that's the whole process. It's a very simple, like I said at the beginning of the video, it's a very simple process. In your case, it could be more complicated. Maybe you find a way to simplify it a little bit. Like I said, the email step might not be necessary if you can take advantage of your enterprise's user authentication and authorization facilities. But this is it. This is, in essence, what it would take for you to have a sign-up workflow inside a mobile application. So let's go ahead and jump to the actual wireframing of these screens that we just designed here. We put on in this diagram. The first element that I want to design here is the welcome screen. So let's add an iPhone screen skin to the design surface here. I'm going to scroll down a little bit so you can see both the workflow that we assigned and also the wireframes for the different screens. And let's use this same label here to get started with this screen. First, I want to put a placeholder there for a logo. It's always nice to have a little thing there for the logo. Increase the font size a bit here. Good. This is nice. All right. Then I will go ahead and create. Let me bring this to the front. Create a label for the prompt that we want to display here on this screen. Existing users, what do? Well, they are supposed to go ahead and sign in. So this is what we will give them with this button. Makes sense? Move this a little bit down so it's closer to the button. And similarly, we want to provide a means to new users, for new users to sign up. Don't have an account. Sign up. Perfect. And that's it. That's essentially what you need on your welcome screen. You might decide to add a few more things there if you are going to use, which I don't know why, but maybe you need to use third-party authentication providers that are not your enterprises. For example, you could use Google, Facebook, which is very frequent in business to consumer type mobile applications, but I just have not found that it's very frequent in enterprise mobile applications. But you can put it there if you need to. Let's quickly add an arrow to make sure that we all understand that there's movement here from the welcome screen. I will use this same label to add a description up here, just so you remember that it's a welcome screen that we diagrammed in our flowchart up there. Next is the sign up screen, and this is where you want to capture username, password, and possibly other profile properties that you want to use in the app. Sign up, and I'll remove this button, and I will use this label, email address, drop a text box, text input, that's how it's called in my wireframing tool. You want to capture email address, and you also want to, let's move this to the side because I realize that I have to move my button down. You also want to capture the user's desired password. And you want to repeat that step just to confirm password. And this is of course where you need to validate before you send the information over to the server to register a user, you need to validate that the password and the confirmed password values are the same, and that the email address at a minimum has the format of an email address. Submit. So this is your sign up screen. Then let's repeat the email step that we assigned in our workflow. Again, might not be necessary if you are taking advantage of your user authentication facilities in the enterprise in your company. But if you can't, then you need to make sure that you've captured a valid email address and that email address belongs to that person that's trying to register. Alright, so moving on. I did not mean to move that box. Oh, let's put it back there. Moving on. This is the step where you want to confirm the email address by having users enter the code that you sent them in that email message. With that email message. So confirm email address here, so we don't forget what this screen is about. We'll continue to call this sign up. I'll leave this label up here, but let's remove this. Let's remove this and this, and I'll use a text block to type something, a short message, so the user understands what they are supposed to do here. Send you a message with a code that you need to enter below so we can confirm your email address. There we go. And this would be enter code. Okay. Well, submit is fine there. Another arrow. Okay, I need more space, so I'll remove the inspector and onto the SignIn Screen, which I will place here. One more arrow, and in the SignIn Screen is where you will have the user enter the credentials that they've created. Makes sense? Very simple. Effective. You can change it if you have different needs. But this is the bare minimum that you have to do in order to register a user, sign a user up so they can access your app. And I guess I can add something that will probably look familiar to you, and it's the keep me signed in box. Remember me or keep me signed in and remember me are not the same thing actually. So you could do one, the other, or both. And one more thing here that's very important, and I will use a link for it, and that's a way for people to reset their password. Maybe they forgot, maybe they don't have it available. So you want to, as part of the entire sign in workflow of the app, have a link that allows them to access an area where they can reset their password, and that's what we're doing with this link here. We're not gonna go in there in this video, but remember that's something that's also needed when you are creating this type of apps. And I think we made it. This is it. Very simple, yet effective. Again, it could be that you need more to capture more information about the user. It could be that you need to add extra steps to this sequence because of different needs that you have in your company, or that your client, if you're developing for your clients, that your client has. But these are the essential elements of a sign-up sequence, and here you have both the flowchart depicting the workflow and the wireframes. So that's all I wanted to show you today. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, observations, if you have ideas that are different, I welcome them all. Head over to miamicoder.com. I'll have a link to this video there, and in the article you will find an area where you can post your comments, your questions, and you can also have access to my contact information if you need to contact me directly. So that's it. I hope this helped you understand the process of designing a sign-up sequence using wireframes, and I'll see you in the next video. So until next time.